iDriveSoCal is brought to you by the very best auto retailers from across Southern California. When it's time for you to buy, or even just kick the tires on the idea of buying, just go to iDriveSoCal.com and click on dealers. iDriveSoCal.com, click on dealers, and get connected. Now, on with the podcast.
When you're here live, it's just different. You feel it. You can feel it in your body. And I always tell people, look, let me get you to a race once. If you've never been, let me just get you to the race once. And I guarantee there's something about our race weekend that's going to hook you. It may not be necessarily the cars on the track, but it might be. To see a car go by, to see a 3,400-pound stock car go by at 215 miles an hour, if the hair on your arm doesn't stand up or you don't get a goosebump or two, probably check your pulse and make sure you're still living, because it's something else.
Welcome to iDriveSoCal, the podcast all about mobility from the automotive capital of the USA, Southern California. I'm Tom Smith, and today we are at the Auto Club Speedway in the Los Angeles suburb of Fontana, California, sitting with Dave Allen, the president of the Auto Club Speedway. Dave, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for being here, Tom. I appreciate it.
So the Auto Club Speedway's been out here for a number of years. I think you said that you guys are coming up on your 20-year anniversary.
We had our 20th year last year. So this is our 21st year.
21st year. Okay. And we're recording this in late February. We're going to release it in early March. And it's got to be when you're listening to this, it will be 1 week away or a week-ish away from the big weekend out here at Auto Club Speedway. Tell me about that, Dave.
Well, it's the Auto Club 400 is happening every year. So March 18th, we'll go 400 miles with the NASCAR, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, and it's a 550 acre facility here in Fontana. So we've got a big place, and we've got great car culture, great racing history here in Southern California, and we're looking forward to having this event every year. We plan for the event all year long. And it's more than just a race. There's a lot of things happening here at the track. The event really starts on Thursday and runs basically through the weekend. And it becomes kind of a happening and a must-see event because it's only one time a year. So some of our other racetracks across the country have two events, but we have one. So you have one opportunity to see these guys go and girls go wheel to wheel for 400 miles. And it's a pretty fast racetrack.
You guys promote this as the fastest weekend in racing or fastest weekend in NASCAR?
Our new ad campaign is the fastest Sunday of the year.
And what is the hook there?
Well,
what is that?
Our weekend really appeals to the five senses. So touch, taste, hear, smell, and see it live. Obviously Fox does an excellent job of showing the races on TV, but there's only so much that they can deliver to you from your living room. Yeah. And, when you're here live, it's just different. You feel it. You can feel it in your body. And I always tell people, look, let me get you to a race once. If you've never been, let me just get you to the race once. And I guarantee there's something about our race weekend that's going to hook you. It may not be necessarily the cars on the track, but it might be. To see a car go by, to see a 3,400-pound stock car go by at 215 miles an hour. If the hair on your arm doesn't stand up or you don't get a goosebump or two, probably check your pulse and make sure you're still living, because it's something else. And I hope everybody at some point in life has the chance to see it. And yes, I'm a race promoter. I sell tickets, but I'm a race fan. And I've been trying to take people to races for many years, and have good memories of family members and friends that I've taken to dirt tracks and short tracks and our race here, that when you see that look on their face the first time when the cars go by, whether it's a sprint car on the dirt or whether it's a stock car on our track, and their eyes just pop out, and their chin drops and they go, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And that's cool. That's gratifying for me and to expose the sport to other people.
And that's what they're doing is 215.
Yeah, here we don't run restrictor plates at our place. So for those listeners out there that haven't been here before, if you were to look at our racetrack from above, from a drone. We just mentioned drones.
Right.
If you look at it from above, it's a D-shaped oval. So it's shaped like the letter D.
Yep.
And down the front stretch, our banking is 11 degrees. Through the corners on both ends is 14 degrees. And on the back stretch is 3 degrees. So it's almost flat on the back straightaway. Well, at Daytona and Talladega, they're a 2.5 mile track. We are a 2 mile track. And those two other tracks are banked much more. So we're 14 degrees. They're 31 to 33 degrees, much more highly banked. So what they do is they run a restrictor plate in the motor to keep the speeds down. Otherwise, they'd really, really be going fast. So you'll see 190, 200 miles an hour on their end. Well, here they don't run a restrictor plate because we don't have as much banking. So entry speeds into turn one, we actually have a speed trap that we worked with Toyota to come up with. There's a big screen that shows live real-time speed as they're going down the front straightaway.
Okay.
So that speed trap will register. I've seen upwards of 216 going into that corner. So interesting story. When we first put the speed trap in, we were running it, and I went into the garage to go see Jeff Gordon. And I walked into the hauler and said, "What do you think about the speed trap?" And he's like, "You know what, Dave? I think it's pretty cool, but you're not getting all of it." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "We're going faster than that." He said, "Move the speed gun further into the corner," because we didn't have it far enough into the corner.
Okay.
So we moved it another 30 feet down into the corner. And sure enough, Jeff was right. We got a few more mile an hour out of the car. And, but he said, it's cool. They some drivers will look at it and some drivers won't, or don't notice it, but, yeah, it's a fast place.
So let's break down the weekend. It starts on Thursday and goes through Sunday.
Thursday is really kind of the first event. We do a hauler parade in our fan zone. So the O'Reilly Auto Parts fan zone is where all of the interactive displays, the merchandise trailers and tents. Monster Energy does a big thing. They call it the smoke show. So they've got their off-road vehicles and their motorcycles and doing a big event there. So there's a lot of activity happening there. So Thursday night, it's a free event. So all the haulers for the race teams come in and they line up, and we parade them right through the fan zone. Fans can get really close. They're honking their air horns and so forth. We have some drivers come in and they'll do a Q&A session on our stage. We've got DJs going and the vendors are open.
Okay.
And then that's the time too, that the RVs have loaded in that morning as well. So our RV infield is for the most part pretty packed by Thursday night. And
that just to be clear, the RV infield, that's where everybody hangs out all weekend and reads scripture.
Yeah. Our version of scripture. Yes. Yes. They, you know what? It's a good balance of a good family activity. And, there are some parties, so to speak, going on in there. So,
and you did mention kids. So it is a kid friendly environment.
It's kid friendly. There are pockets.
Put them to bed early.
There are pockets of that infield that, once you get past 9 or 10 o'clock, it's adult friendly.
Right.
There's definitely some socially lubricated people in there, have consumed a beverage or two. But they have a good time in there. So it's just one part of the weekend, and Friday, the weekend on track starts. So that's the first day you'll actually see on track activity with practice and qualifying sessions and so forth. So, when you get through Friday, and we've got activity going in the fan zone, we've got activities going in the infield. And I forgot to mention, there's actually a grocery store in the infield as well. So Vaughn's Safeway has got a good grocery store going on in there. But Saturday will be the Xfinity Series race. And then Sunday, of course, the Auto Club 400. So the Xfinity Series, for those that don't know, is kind of, if you were to put it in baseball terms, it's kind of the AA or the AAA.
Okay.
And then Sunday, of course, with the Monster Energy Cup Series, those are the big boys.
The Xfinity, is that same type of cars / equipment, not quite as drivers at not quite the level of the guys that do it the next day, or is it completely different cars and equipment?
No, for the most part, they look the same. The cars do. They're a little less horsepower, a little down on horsepower compared to a cup car. But you hit it on the head there with driver development. It's a good feeder series. You get the younger drivers. You do have there's some rules in NASCAR that prevent cup drivers from running too many of the Xfinity races, but they can run a handful of them. So sometimes you'll see crossover from the cup drivers that'll come over and run the Xfinity series. But the Xfinity Series cars have always put on a great show, and the racing for them is just as competitive as it is for the Cup Series. So we've got people that come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even that aren't staying here overnight in the infield. They're coming to the track every day. So going back to your question about the fastest Sunday of the year, with our marketing platform, it doesn't. I'm not necessarily saying either too that we're not saying that it's just the speed of the cars. It's a fast weekend. It's fast in the infield, it's fast in the fan zone, it's fast on track. And if you're not here, you're going to miss it. So that's kind of where we were going with the campaign. And I think it's fun, coming off of our 20th year anniversary last year, we had so many cool things we were talking about for the 20th. And it's like, well, what do we do now? Well, let's talk about what the weekend is all about.
Yep.
And we have so many passionate fans. I mean, that's one of the most important things, is to ask our fans to pass their passion on for the sport. And I talked about it a minute ago about, exposing people to the sport and bringing them to the sport for the first time. We can't do it by ourselves. We need the help of our fans to bring their nieces and nephews and kids and neighbors and their friends and expose them to the sport that we all love and that we know is different than seeing on TV. So I hope that our new ad campaign kind of conveys what the weekend's all about. And, for our diehards, they know. But for somebody on the fence or maybe he's arm's distance away, doesn't know what it's all about, hopefully it pulls them in and they come check it out.
And for somebody that is on the fence, it's like, I'm interested. I've seen it on TV. I might go check it out. Would you recommend any of the particular days for someone like that?
Well, I have kids. So when you look at it from a kid perspective, Saturday's a great day because kids 12 and under are free. So we've tried to make our sport as accessible to everyone as possible. Our entry level ticket on Sunday is $41. Things go up right now. I think it's at $45. But if you buy early, you can get rewarded. Auto Club of Southern California also has a great program as well for entry if you're an Auto Club member. And Saturday, going back to Saturday, if you've got those younger kids, and the crowds aren't as robust on Saturday as they are on Sunday, but everything's still open, everything's still operating, all the fan zones in full operation. If it was me and it was my first time and I had young kids, I'd come on Saturday. If it was me and I was, 20 some odd years old again, and I wanted to come out with some buddies, I'd come out on Sunday. That's when our programming, fully, we've got bands that are playing. We got bands that are playing on Saturday as well, but all the headliner stuff, whether it's on track headliners or off track headliners, are all hitting on Sunday. And we are in Hollywood, so to speak. We're not in Hollywood proper,
right?
But we're the closest super speedway to Hollywood that you can get that the NASCAR series visits. So needless to say, there's a lot of celebrities here as well that show up for the races. And I would say only second to probably Daytona as it relates to the number of celebrities you'll see at a NASCAR race all year long.
Anything else you want to mention before we wrap it up?
Just getting people to the race. So if people have questions, there's so many different options and opportunities to be had there. If they log on to autoclubspeedway.com, a lot of that is outlined there. They can also come see us here in person at the track, buy tickets here at the window, or call 1-800-944-RACE. So, we're an entertainment facility, and NASCAR is our biggest event of the year. So we try to do as much as we can to create an atmosphere and a party and a race that people will remember for a long time. So I hope this year's is very much the same, and we have a great event for people that want to come.
And the specific dates are
March 16th, 17th, and 18th. We load in the RVs early on Thursday.
Got it.
And then the gate openings on the outside, if you're not an RV guest, open on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Dave Allen, president of Auto Club Speedway, here at Auto Club Speedway, where we're recording right now. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
For iDriveSoCal, I'm Tom Smith. Thanks for listening.